Okay, we've got a 45-15 set up here. So each station, you'll do 2 rounds in a row, 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, then another 45 seconds of work. Then you've got your 15-second break, move to the next station, same thing, 45 work, 15 rest, 45 work. If it's a one-sided exercise like a lunge, you do one leg for the first 45, and then you'll do the other leg for the next 45. For equipment, you'll want some sliders. There'll be a few different things that you'll want your valve slides for. You'll want a mini band. There'll be 1 or 2 that you'll have a band on for. You want a heavy object. So we'll use a kettlebell, but it needs to be like heavy, like a couch or something like that, because we're going to do our Stallones. We're holding on, and it needs to be able to keep you grounded there. So make sure that is pretty heavy. And then for weights, probably a little bit of everything. You'll want heavy weight. We've got a goblet reverse lunge or hold in front. We're going to have some curls, so these would be more medium weights for that. And then we'll have rear flies. So you want the light weights for that, really light, or the cans, or something like Bud Diesel would be a good option for that one too. So we'll get started in about 10 seconds here. First one's going to be a goblet reverse lunge. So you're going to want the heaviest object that you have, or that you're willing to use for this one.
While this is a leg exercise, make sure the core is nice and tight throughout. Keep some tension there. As you're lowering down, be as aggressive in the front leg as you want. You might use that back foot minimally, or if you are loaded quite heavy, you might need to really push off that back foot. You can stand tall to a knee tuck, pause for a second. If your stability is not fantastic, you might stand up, just match the feet side by side, and then drop back into that reverse lunge. 15 seconds out. Being 45-15, we'll work 45 seconds, rest 15, work 45 seconds, and then we'll transition over 15 seconds to a new exercise. Two. Same thing here, but other leg. You might inhale on the way down, exhale as you stand up, tighten the core up, drop in, use the glute on the front leg as a break. Our next exercise is going to be a crawl. I'm going to crawl forward and backwards, 15 seconds out. If you don't have a lot of room to crawl or no room to crawl, you could quad plank with a shoulder tap perhaps instead. 5.
To get into that quad plank position, knees up just barely off the floor. The closer you keep those to the ground, the more challenging you can make this. Opposite hand and foot moving together. And spend more time off the floor to make this more challenging. Kind of hovering, you could even pause in the middle of that step too. And then backwards can be a little tricky with the coordination, so take your time as much as you need to. You're pushing through the shoulder a little bit more on the backwards steps. Good flat back, 10 seconds to go. Three, 2, 1. So back on, knees up. Forward one, you're pushing a little bit more through the toes. Again, that more time hovering requires more core work. Shoulders working a lot too, just to hold you up. And then quads working. Keep those legs in a good position. About halfway through. So after this one, you will be down on the floor on your back for bicycles.
10 seconds to go. 2.
Bikes here, guys, we've talked about it before, trying to push that foot away from the body, so extend that leg as much as possible. Nice, slow, controlled rhythm. Faster does not always mean more work. What's up, Ben? Yeah, I'm sure. 20 seconds out here. Just a small amount of torso rotation, pulling that knee to the elbow, elbow to knee. If you need to, the knees can stay bent. You could also tap those heels down to the floor if it's bugging your back. But do keep that low back driven down throughout this movement. 5, 2, in 5 seconds, we'll do our second one here. If it's too much on the hip flexors or back, keep the knees bent. Don't reach out as far. But if you're capable to do so, let's go ahead and follow Ben's lead. Push those legs way out. You can even take a little pause out there in space. And likely an exhale there and there and there. Try not to stare at the clock. 20 seconds out. I was running over and pause it if you do that. 15 seconds, guys. Our next exercise is going to be a push-up with a pulse at the bottom. So drop in, a little pulse, a little press. 5. You know it's almost May, right?
It's about to be sunny, man.
I know.
Gotta get ready.
I don't know who's going to the beach this summer. So getting low, that pulse comes in the bottom part of the movement. So somewhere probably around 6 or 8 inches of movement on that middle rep, that pulsing rep. If it feels easy, definitely go from your toes and slow that pulse down. Spend more time in the lower part of the movement. You can always go from your knees on this one. Get as much depth as you can. Trying to get that chest low to the floor. Keeping that plank position, 12 seconds to go. 5.
'Weed my garden.
What was that?
Need to weed my garden.
Oh yeah.
Plant some maters. I hate pruning them.
Stuff you think about when you're working.
Trying to distract myself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, oh man, my shoulders, my chest, my triceps.
No, it is
No.
good. Think about other things.
That's why the timer's there. I'm not counting reps.
So not letting that low back arch, not letting the hips drop too low on this one. Everything stays together. Exhale as you drive your palms into the floor. 18 seconds to go. Next one, you're going to be on your back and you're going to want your sliders. You've got eccentric hamstring curls, feet up on the sliders. So 10 seconds. 2, 1. Got it.
Eccentric hams, not hamstring runner. Hips are high. You gotta sweep out both legs same time, keeping the hips up. You're gonna get full extension if you can. In that position, if you need to, drop the butt down there. Weight on the sliders as you draw back in. Hip height, slow reach. That draw in coming up right here is a very heavy hamstring draw, so don't just slide the feet in. Think about almost like a fizzball curl. 15 seconds. And then Ben usually cues us pretty well, and that spend more time at the end of that range of motion if it feels easy. 3, 2. Five seconds out. Same thing here, lots of prep to start this. Squeeze your glutes, get high in the hips. Real slow release. Full extension, and if you can, keep those hips up as you pull back in. Drive the elbows into the floor for some assistance. If you do take the regressed version, being hips on floor, you could try to get the hips up as you draw the feet back in. So rest the butt down as you draw back in. Try to get those hips back up in the air. Kind of same time almost. 15 seconds out. Our next exercise is going to be a single leg alternating curls. So medium weight, we'll stand tall on one leg. 5.
So you got a weight in each hand for this one. One leg up. Trying to get that knee right out in front of the hip, so pretty much parallel to the floor with that front thigh. It's usually a good idea to have a soft bend in that down knee, so you're not fully locked out with the knee, but just a slight bend, and that allows you to use the muscles a little more for stability rather than putting a lot of pressure right on that knee. Chest stays up. Helpful to look straight forward or maybe slightly down. But keep that neck in a good position. 10 seconds to go, and just continuous alternating curls here. So try not to pause on the bottom of each one. 4, 3, 2, 1. So other leg up. Usually a good idea too to keep the toes pulled up towards your knee on that up leg. And so try not to let things move around much. Keeping it continuous, you've got that constant core tension and hip and leg work on that down leg. But by having the weights moving, you've got to try to keep everything stationary other than the arms. Get that good pump in the biceps there. Rip those sleeves a little bit. 12 seconds to go. Breathe through. Hop around, dance a little bit. 6, 5, 2, 1. Good. Next one's a single leg jump with no contact. So you just need a little bit of space. For this one, it's going to be the little hop up.
Similar to a sprinter start, guys, but not touching that back foot. So almost single leg RDL in nature. Reach that leg behind you. That left leg is kind of the prime mover. It's going to reach back, and then a nice fast knee drive. Sinking the arms up as well. So while that left knee is driving up, that right arm is almost uppercut. That will give you the pop or the bounce you're looking for. 15 seconds on this one leg still. 10. 3, 2, same thing other side. If you're not the best at stability, you could tap that toe behind you, similar to a sprinter start, or just take some of the plyometric aspect out. But you are trying to go for some height, nice soft landing, transfer that weight back into the glute and hip. And then a hi-ya. I have a lot of speed coming up. 15 seconds. Next exercise is going to be a Stallone. I'm going to use a kettlebell. You'll likely use the leg of a couch, coffee table, child, partner, something, but on your back. Hold on to an item.
So you want to be nice and grounded with your upper body. That's what that weight's for. Lifting the legs up, hips up, and then coming down under control. The straighter the legs, the more challenging this is going to be. Lift up if you can, pushing the hips up, and then trying to keep them up as you lower too. If this feels not so great on your back, or you have just back issues in general, don't worry about getting that hip lift at the top. Just focus more on the leg raise and lower. 15 seconds to go. But if you do feel okay with it, you feel strong with it, slowly lift the hips up, slowly lower them down. 5 seconds to go. And rest here. So it's more about that constant tension on these, not trying to move fast. Go back on in 5. And when you're going as slow as this, you definitely got to breathe a few times on every rep. If you're going a little faster tempo, it might just be one breath each rep. But lift the hips up, trying to keep the feet up towards the ceiling. And then once the hips come down, you can then slowly lower those legs down. 15 seconds to go. Next one, you're going to need a slider. We're going to have a bow slide lateral lunge. 8 seconds to go.
And you could potentially hold a weight up in front on this one, or hold a weight down in this arm if you want to.
Make sure you're moving laterally when you reach that foot out, not too far behind you. And you might also focus on keeping that foot pointed forward. That foot that's drifting out, keep it squared up in front of you. That should give you more of that inside adductor stretch and work versus a hamstring exercise. If you wanted to as well, you can take the arm on the leg that's stationary, reach behind you and drive yourself up, almost like a skating action. And then if you wanted more tempo, that would allow you to find it. So it could be a nice quick drive. But if you're being more controlled, you might not use that arm that much. 5. I would say 95% of the weight is on the stationary leg. That other leg's just floating out there in space. You could even do it without a disc. Similarly. 5. Another lateral lunge here. Check that toe, make sure it's forward. Heavy, heavy, heavy on that stationary side. If you look down at the knee, it's not going anywhere. That hip should sit straight down. "20 seconds out. "8. The next exercise is a 45-degree mountain climber. One of Ben's favorites. We'll need both your discs this time. Push-up position.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed I don't get to do this one, but I'll do it in the background here. Probably twice as fast too. So you're in the mountain climber push-up position. Bring the knee across your body, so think around 45-degree angle, kind of towards that elbow, without actually coming up and nailing your elbow. Hips are going to rotate. Head can turn a little bit on each one too. And these don't need to be fast. They don't need to be slow-mo, but they don't need to be a speed movement either. But you can play around a little bit. Go in super slow motion. Might feel okay for you too. 15 seconds left. Using those abs to kind of crunch across your body, and then shoulders and upper body are doing a good job of supporting you up there. 7. So back down in 3 seconds, load in the upper body so those feet can move a little more smoothly. And reaching across. Good breath. Every time you're pulling across is a good idea on this one. Good exhale. Stay consistent. Got 20 seconds to go. Next one's going to be a push-up down on the floor. A single leg or a single knee push-up. Last 10. Grind it out here. Breathe in, breathe in. 5. Nice. So push-ups with a knee or a foot off the floor here.
It's a good demo, guys. That leg on the floating leg stays long. Squeeze the glute. Think about extending through that leg and driving the heel out and back. Not arching the back though. Core stays tight. It's a lot of work on that one hip flexor. So if it's too much on your hip, you can set the other foot down lightly. Keep control of the hips. Keep them squared. Inhale, exhale. 10 seconds out. 5. 3, 2. Same idea, but on the other side. Glute stays tight on the extended leg. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep the abs tight, keep the lats tight. Find a good rhythm. If you need to, set the other foot down lightly. That would be if it's too much in the hip or core. 25 seconds out. The next exercise is not so bad. It looks like a single leg rear delt fly. So you'll want something light. Likely up to about maybe 8 pounds, but 1 through 5 is likely the best weight for most people. 2. So get into that single leg RDL position. And you're just staying down there the whole time. So that chest is down towards the floor. And then the reverse fly, you got a little bend in your elbows, but not too much of a bend. So you want to try to keep that weight out away from your body. It's helpful to stare down at the floor, pick a spot right down in front of you, and just look at that so you're not moving your eyes around. Squeezing those shoulder blades back as you push your chest forward. 15 seconds to go. And you got a good bend in that front knee too that's down on the floor, because we want the glutes and quads to be loaded there. 5. Hamstrings too, so good full leg work there. Yeah. And challenge yourself with the balance. I mean, maybe the weight feels okay, but it's the balance that's tricky. It's pretty tough to go through a full set and stay perfectly stable, so work on that. And then it's a really good posture exercise. Anytime you're doing rear flies, rows, things like that, it's going to be helpful for posture when you're sitting at a computer all day long. Opening up the chest, pinching those shoulder blades together in the back. Back leg's pretty straight too, so that butt is working. Both sides of the glutes are working.
Got another 15 seconds. Next one's going to be down on your back for a V-up, double leg V-up. 5.
It's written as a double leg, but if it's not appropriate, guys, quickly reduce to a single leg. Double leg is going to be a little more in the core, as well as the hips, hip flexors that is, also in the back. So if a quick regression is appropriate, let's regress. You can be more of a crunch base than a sit-up base. Single leg instead of double leg. 25 seconds out. Likely an exhale as you come tall, keep the back driven down. You can soften those knees to 90 degrees on the heel tap if you want to. Take some effort off there. 10. 2.
My abs are tough.
Yeah, I just looked at my next exercise too.
What do you got?
Marching plank.
Man, these are gonna hurt tomorrow.
This week is a lot of abs. If you guys are, I don't know if you're starting with 50-50 or starting with the bComplete, but the 2 workouts this week are half abs, it seems like. Yeah, those Stallones about ruined me after doing the fallouts and the dead bugs. And, jeez, man.
Good day.
Yeah, why not? It's better than a bunch of triceps.
Good point.
All right, guys, 9 stations of dips. 20 seconds out here. Next thing is going to be a marching plank. We'll roll over into a plank position. Trying to go opposite arm, opposite leg, like the crawl. 10.
'Cause on marching plank, you start out elbows and toes. Try and move opposite hand and foot. So it's similar to a crawl in that regard, but you're going to be on your elbows instead of up on your hands, and your legs are straight versus bent. Not letting the hips drop. When in doubt, it's usually a little better to go higher with the hips if you do feel like you're prone to sag a little bit in the middle. So you're going to feel shoulders a bit, especially on this reverse. But constant bracing with your core. 7 seconds to go.
Just think about gardening.
Yep, think about all the yard work that you want to do and planting those seeds and all the fun gardening stuff. All right, so back up. On forward movement, you're pushing through those toes. And nice and smooth reps. Similar to the crawling, the more time you spend up off the floor, the more challenging this is going to be. You could go down to your knees for this, or just hold a regular plank if you need to pull it back. 18 seconds to go. Next one, you're going to want your couch or chair. We're going to have a rear foot elevated split squat, or a Bulgarian split squat with your back foot up. So you'll want a weight and a bench or chair. 3, 2, 1. And for this, if you want, you can hold the weight up front. You can hold the weight down your side. I'll hold it at my side for this one.
If you are holding a single bell, usually we would instruct you to hold it in the leg, the arm of the leg that is back. That should give you decent stability and then also allow for some room for that weight to settle, staying tight to the body. 25 seconds out. As you sit down, transfer the weight into the heel. That should put it into the glute and hamstring of that front leg. Being as light as you can in the back foot, 15 seconds. 10. Inhale down, stand tall, exhale, squeeze your bum. 5. 3, 2. You should have switched arms, switched legs. After these split squats, you'll need your band above the knees, so start to look around, find that band. If you need to pause the video for a second so you're not behind, please do so. 20 seconds out here still. And we're gonna end up in a banded quad plank for the next thing. So finish off these split squats. 5. Maybe it's not who I thought it was. Similar hold. Banded quad plank, guys. Band is above the knees like this.
So you've got a lot of weight up on your hands, your shoulders.
Knees are hovering off the floor. And then you're pushing against that band the whole time. So that's how to add a little extra challenge to it, is work even harder to push those knees apart. This is a good one, just think about good things. Back stays nice and flat. You're looking straight down at the floor, so we don't want that head hanging down low. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, come down your knees to breathe. If you're feeling fine, just stay hovering the whole time. Back on 2, 1. Knees up off the floor. And try to control the breathing. Take a good deep inhale, then a good big full exhale. Got 20 seconds left. You're going to keep your band on for the next one, but we'll be up standing into our abduction extension drill. So you'll be bouncing on one leg there. 8 seconds to go. And I got it. Good. It was just a static one.
If your guys' stability is good, stand on the carpet, stand on a washcloth, increase the instability of your foot. But here's a good demo. Band above the knees, extend that leg out, trying to draw a straight line from heel, hip, shoulder, so really push that heel up and back, lock that glute out, right leg stays bent. Then once you're there, maybe shift that weight into the heel just a hair on the supporting leg, sit back into a little bit, breathe, 15 seconds out. 10. 3, 2. Almost done. 2 things left after this. Of course, one of them is a core. 2. We have yoga days, we could just title this core. A little bit of legs and a lot of core. And then on the second leg, don't be lazy. Really drive that heel up and back. Elongate the body. Squeeze that right glute, push away. Separate the band, separate the knees. 20 seconds. Try not to just go through the motions here, work a lot. 15 seconds. Next thing is a suitcase crunch on our backs. It's that crunch with a little pivot and swivel side to side. 5.
So bands off, land on your back. You're going to lift up into a little mini crunch and then reaching side to side. So you're trying to keep your shoulders and shoulder blades and head up off the floor. So there's constant crunching position, and then the obliques getting good work as you lean side to side. If your head, neck getting a little strained there, holding it up, you could always put your hands lightly on the back of your head. Still maintaining those little side crunches. 15 to go. 7 seconds to go. 2, 1. Good. It's the last core thing we got. So just 45 more seconds here. And then just one fun one to finish out. So back up into your crunch. Think about lifting that chest up towards the ceiling. Chin can be tucked a little bit there. And this is one of those where the more you focus on what you're trying to do, the more you focus on those muscles that should be working, the more you're going to get out of it. So instead of being lazy with it, feel your abs with that crunch. Feel the obliques on each side as you lean into it. 18 seconds to go. Last one's going to be up onto your feet for high knees. 6. All right, up to your feet. Good burn here. 90 seconds of work. It's not that long.
It's not straight through, guys. Unless you want to. But don't get scared. Normal work set. Some high knees. Ben's good at them. Tappity, 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 tappity. You likely are not doing a full foot strike on the floor. It should be from the toes. Tap, 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 tap. 20 seconds out. I always get a lot of this in my hamstrings. Lots of hidden hamstring work here. 10. Stay vertical, core stays tight. 3, 2. Yeah, nice set. Get your steps in for the day. 5. On the back side of this, we're going to stretch. We'll start with a kneeling hip flexor stretch. Try to search for that same knee height you had, the same tempo that was there. "20 seconds. 10. 5. Kneeling hip flexor stretch. We're going to settle into it about as fast as we can. Sorry, Ben. One knee down, 1 foot forward. Good position to breathe. Roll the hips under. Glutes are tight. Breathe some more. You might put a little bit of weight down on that front leg just to intensify the core stretch or to overload it. 20 seconds.
10.
Same thing on the other side. After this, we're going to go into thread the needle. So in a quad plank position, reach the arm under the leg, under the torso. Rotate the torso. So on 6 points of contact, reach under, rotate, draw. Breathing throughout. Oh. 20 seconds. Did you order your full grocery list for the pickup?
No, it's like 4 things. I'm more just testing it out
5.
so I can tell my parents to do it.
Is it the Redmond one?
No, just on 148. Right by me. Right there.
Oh, I mentioned I saw somebody at Target do it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was trying to think of Target off 148, but yeah, Redmond.
Seems convenient. As long as there's not a super long wait. Like if you need something fast, you probably gotta. You just gotta go to the store. But
What's the turnaround on it? Like if you were to order right now?
I ordered. It was like 4 days.
Huh.
So I ordered Sunday. We're talking about ordering groceries for pickup. I'm trying it for the first time today. Mostly so I can tell my parents that they need to do it. Tell them that I've been doing it.
15 seconds out. Last thing is going to be that pigeon stretch. We'll into a push-up position, pull the leg under the body, and then lay down on it and smash it. 5. Ben's already got the demo. Your body. Being on the palms of the hands is going to be the easiest stretch here. Dropping to form is going to be a bit aggressive, and then sprawling out kind of chest to floor is going to be even a little more crazy. Just be gentle there. Don't strain your hamstring trying to stretch. Be silly. "20 seconds left on this side. 10. Last 45 second stretch, guys. Same pigeon, other side. Take the heart rate down a bit. Easy breathing. It's nice to have that one done. "15 seconds. You said parks and stuff open Monday, is it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. 5. That's it, guys. Add some stretching to it if you'd like. Throw in a world's greatest, throw in some hand walks, throw in some core stretch, whatever you need. Later.